How far would someone go to keep their online identity safe? Ashley Grayson, who calls herself an 8-figure business coach and a best-selling author, knew the answer was murder. Teaching others how to become financially free started out as a glamorous job, but it turned into a dark plan involving murder for hire. Grayson used to be praised for how quickly she became successful, but now she is going to spend 10 years in federal jail. But what caused this shocking fall? How did an influencer who seemed to be doing well get involved in a crime that was so bad that it made national news? Let's look into Ashley Grayson's case, where her online fame clashed with real-life effects. Ashley Grayson made a name for herself as a modern-day billionaire by showing a sense of wealth, power, and success. With her online courses that promised financial freedom, she gained thousands of followers who wanted to do what she did. Grayson's claim that she was a multimillionaire and best-selling author made her even more of a social media star. But behind the carefully chosen pictures and motivational posts was a person who was very competitive. Some people didn't like how successful she was. Former co-workers, enemies, and unhappy clients started to question her methods and accuse her of lying. Even though these claims were made, Grayson kept his fans and continued to do well. But cracks in her facade were beginning to show, and the seeds of her eventual downfall were being sown. It all started for Ashley Grayson to fail in 2021, when she got into a feud with a Mississippi woman who ran a similar online business that turned hostile. In the crowded world of online business, both women were in the same competitive niche, trying to get customers and recognition. The argument changed quickly when Grayson said that her rival was planning to spread lies about her. Grayson said the woman was using fake social media profiles to hurt her image, which was a serious accusation that made things worse between them. The competition grew very quickly and became public as charges were made against each other. The heated arguments between the two women were watched by millions of people online, which made things even worse. But by 2022, Grayson's anger had turned into something much bigger than professional sports. She didn't just see her rivals as a rival, she saw them as a direct threat to her business empire and personal brand. This thought drove her crazy. Grayson did something shocking and extreme to get rid of this threat he saw. Under the cover of a business meeting, she went up to a couple in Memphis and told them she wanted to kill her business rival. When he asked her to marry him, she was shocked. Instead of going along with her plan, they did something that changed their lives. They recorded their conversations with Grayson to gather proof that would later be used against her. This was the start of a strange and scary criminal case that showed the bad side of influencer culture and having a lot of goals. Grayson's plan to kill people for money was both bold and scary. After saying she wanted to get rid of her business rival, she went into frightening depth about how she was going to do it, leaving little room for doubt. She gave the Memphis couple $20,000 for each target, and she had other people on her list as well. Besides the business rival, she was after an ex-boyfriend and an online critic who had loudly criticized her. To get the couple even more motivated, she offered them extra rewards if they quickly carried out the plan. Grayson didn't know that the couple wasn't going to carry out her evil plan. When they realized how bad the situation was, they started writing down what they did with her. Every detail she shared and every word she spoke were recorded, leaving a very bad trail of proof. They planned a fake murder attempt and demanded a partial payment to see how determined and committed she was. This proof that pointed the finger at her became a key part of the case against her. When you put together the recorded talks, the fake murder, and the payment transaction, it was clear what Grayson wanted to do. She had planned a secret and well-thought-out operation, but it turned into a scandal that shocked both her following and the public, which sealed her fate in court. What would you do if you found yourself in the couple's position? Would you have the courage to expose such a shocking plot? In July 2023, Grayson and her husband were indicted on charges of conspiracy to commit murder for hire. The next trial captivated the whole country. The prosecutors played the tapes, which showed Grayson's scary plan. It became clear that she wasn't what she seemed to be as a business coach and author. Grayson's lawyers tried to make her look like a victim of her situation, by saying that the couple had lied to her. The jury, however, was not impressed. She was found guilty in March 2024 and given a 10-year sentence in federal jail without the chance of parole. Even though her husband was in on some of the talks that could have been used against her, he was found not guilty because there wasn't enough proof linking him to the plot. Why would a powerful person risk everything for something so horrible? Investigators think Grayson did terrible things because she was so obsessed with keeping up her online image. Her competitors were not only people she had to deal with, but also people who could destroy her business. The case had a quick and terrible effect on everyone. Grayson's empire fell apart when her clients, fans, and sponsors stopped working with her. Her story was used to show how dangerous it is to put virtual fame ahead of doing the right thing. For the people she planned to kill, the trial was some relief, but the mental scars from knowing they were the targets of a murder plot stayed. What do you think drives someone to go to such extremes over a business rivalry? Could there be underlying psychological or societal factors? Grayson's husband played a peripheral role in the events leading up to her arrest. He was in on important talks and knew about her plans, but he said he never took part. The court had a hard time figuring out how involved he was. In the end, he was found not guilty because he had not done anything wrong or given verbal approval. Grayson got the full force of the law, but there were still moral questions about her husband. Could he have stopped her? Did he allow her to do what she did by staying quiet? These open questions made a case that was already very complicated even more difficult to understand. The case of Grayson shows the bad side of influencer society. In a world where internet identities are often more important than real ones, the stress of keeping up an image can cause people to make terrible choices. Her story shows how the lines between online fame and morality in the real world are not always clear. Crime investigators learn from this case how hard it is to look into murder for hire plans, especially ones that start informally. The brave couple from Memphis who told others about Grayson's plan probably saved lives and set a standard for how to handle similar cases in the future. People talked about whether Grayson's 10-year term was harsh enough for conspiracy charges. Since she didn't hurt anyone, her guilt led to a pretty light sentence. Some people said that her actions should have led to heavier punishments, while others said that the law had been applied correctly. The case also showed how important it is to step in and help. If the couple from Memphis hadn't come forward, Grayson's plans might have come true, which would have been a terrible tragedy that could not be fixed. Do you think the punishment in such cases should focus more on rehabilitation or deterrence? The fall of Grayson shows how dangerous it is to live for fame. A lot of the time, influential people make their lives look perfect, but the stress of keeping up this appearance can be very bad. For Grayson, protecting her image was so important to her that it drove her to commit crimes and destroy the very character she was trying to protect. People are feeling a lot of pressure because Ashley Grayson is famous on the internet. Her case is more than just a story. It stresses the importance of moral limits in business and in everyday life, even when there is criticism and competition. People who watch shows have a part to play in creating a culture of responsibility. We can help make the internet a healthier place by backing creators who put honesty first and don't put up with bad behavior. Grayson's story shows that fame fades quickly, but the effects of our deeds last a lifetime. It's a story about how success turned into scandal, of a character built on ambition that fell apart because of bad decisions. Let's remember how important honesty and responsibility are in every part of our lives as we move through the digital age. Not forget to share this case with others if it affected you. Let's use this as a chance to make people more aware of how our actions, both online and off, affect other people. Subscribe now for more cases like this that go deep into the problems that are making the world what it is.